Hi, in this video I am going to demonstrate HCL ZIE for Windows licensing configurations. Install HCL ZIE for Windows 2.0. Click on the Start menu. Navigate to HCL ZIE for Windows. Click on Preferences. Preferences dialog comes up. Navigate to Advanced tab. Three licensing options are available under the mode combo. HCL licensing will be the default licensing option. On selecting HCL licensing, license will be acquired by connecting to the HCL license server. We need to configure HCL license server URL under the license URL section. Default renewal interval for the HCL licensing will be 864. Range of the renewal interval for the HCL licensing is 288 to 1440 minutes. Please open the link provided in the description of this video regarding the HCL license server setup. As explained in this document, we need to set up the devices and map the entitlements. We need to use the device ID as the license URL. You can go through this documentation for the details related to setting up of the HCL license server. On selecting License Manager, license will be acquired by connecting to the License Manager. We need to deploy the WAR file in WAS or any other web server to have a license manager setup. Provide a license manager URL under the license URL section, and the default interval for the license manager is 5 minutes, and the range of renewal interval for the license manager is between 5 to 30 minutes. Renewal interval in the preferences specifies the time in minutes at which ZIE for Windows session sends license parameters. Borrow interval specifies the time for which license is reserved. For HCL licensing, borrow interval will be 5 times that of the renewal interval. For license manager, borrow interval and renewal interval are same. In case of communication failure after acquiring the license, subsequent connection attempts are allowed till the borrow interval elapses. Hence, having large borrow interval is recommended. On selecting Disable Licensing, license URL and renewal interval fields are disabled. Using this option, user can connect to host without acquiring the license, and the status bar is updated with the respective message. License will be released on disconnecting the last active session. Now I will demonstrate all the licensing configuration. Let's start with the HCL licensing. Select HCL licensing under the mode combo. We need to configure the HCL license server URL under the license URL. As you can see, this is the device ID which we need to use for the license URL. Default renewal interval is 864. Click Apply and click OK. Click on the Start menu. Navigate to HCL ZIE for Windows. Click on Start or Configure Sessions. You can create new session. I have already created a session. Double click on this session to open the Z series session. Now the session is connected by acquiring the license from the HCL license server. To see the status bar history, you can click on View Status Bar History. As you can see, the message is updated as license request initiated, waiting for a response, license acquired. Click on the same session again and start the session. Now the first session has acquired the license and it is connected. When you launch the second session, it will use the existing license. New request will not be made to the HCL license server. That can be verified from the status bar history. As you can see, license request is initiated, waiting for a response. Active license already exists. That means both the sessions are using the same license. Close the session. On disconnecting the last active session, license will be released. Now open the preferences. Preferences can be opened by pressing Windows R and typing user PM. Change the license mode to license manager. Now we need to configure the license manager URL in the license URL section. Enter the renewal interval between 5 to 30 minutes. Click apply and click OK. Go to communication, click connect. Now session is connected by acquiring the license from the license manager. We can see the actual license count. Open the license manager setup. As you can see, total license count is 1. You can see the IP address and the timestamp. On disconnecting this session, license will be released. That can be verified from the license manager setup. As you can see, total license count is 0. That means we have released the license. Open the preferences. Select disable licensing option. On selecting disable licensing, license URL and renewal interval are disabled. Connect the session. Now the session is connected without acquiring the license. Same can be verified from the status bar history. Click on view, go to status bar history. Same message is updated here. Connecting without acquiring the license as license is disabled. Close the session. All the three licensing options are also applicable to the FTP client. I will demonstrate disable licensing option for the FTP client. Click on the Start menu, navigate to ZIE for Windows and click on the FTP client to launch it. Enter the host to which we want to connect, enter the username, password, click on connect. As you can see, FTP client is connected to host without acquiring the license. Right click on the bottom bar to see the status. As you can see, status bar is updated with the message connecting without acquiring the license as licensing is disabled. Thank you.